Shelley, Peter, lower your net on the right side of the boat. And so, right there. And the pastor's right. There is a separation of church and state. No question about that. Government is to stay out of our church, but we're to have the church in our government. We need to have more righteous people running for office. We won't have some of these problems if we do that. And that's one of the good things you've got with Shelley running for this office. I don't have to worry about her righteousness in office. I don't have to worry about her backbone. I don't have to worry about her groveling to the speaker, hoping to get a chair or vice chair or something like that. She's already, and it's not speculation, she's already demonstrated who she is, where she stands. And believe me, when somebody will stand for what they believe and look at a jail cell as the alternative, they will not waver when they get down to Austin and stand on that floor. Now, I don't need to, and one thing for sure, understand, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, that is the definition of insanity. So if you want something different to happen, and I don't need to talk to you about what has been happening, you've got a sheet here that gives you a pretty good idea. The election bills that were killed, that we got out of the Senate, many of them, we had several, that would have fixed our election significantly, died in the House. All the good stuff died. We had to spend 4 extra sessions down there because we couldn't get the House to vote for school choice. 5 times. 5 times they voted against school choice. You got to understand, education is extremely important. It is probably the biggest responsibility we adults have, is the education of our children. Absolutely. Education is not about employment for folks, or a job, or a retirement plan. Education is about educating our children. And the difference between our schools in a state that has 5.5 million students in the school, I guarantee you there is a difference in quality of education that runs the full gamut. We know, we've seen it. Parents need to have control of their kids' education. Getting school choice passed so parents can choose not to put their child in a school where a teacher is going to secretly try to transition them from being a girl to a boy or a boy to a girl, or prepare them for an appointment to see a doctor about an abortion and keep it secret from the teacher. They need to be able to put their child where they want them to go, not be faced with books that would not even have been, that I don't even want to talk about because they're so bad, and I think by now you know about it. We're not going to have to worry about that with Shelley down there. She's told us who she is. She's demonstrated it. She didn't just stand up here and talk about what she's going to do. She has walked the walk. And that's what we need down there. The Senate passes bill after bill after bill. We had bills to lower your property tax even more than what we finally got. We've had to fight the House all the way through to get something that was reasonable. We didn't get all of what we should have gotten, because we can actually get rid of the O&M tax from schools if we would just set our mind to it, because Texas has a booming economy, it's growing, and we're going to have enough surplus that we could make that happen if we had the people in the House that would support it. Right now, we do not have those. And there is a sea change coming all over this state. And there needs to be, because there were some really horrible things that happened down there, that one vote alone should have been enough reason for anybody in any place to not send their rep back down there for having taken that vote. And that vote was for the impeachment of Ken Paxton that was done with absolutely no evidence at all. Zero. Not little evidence. Not just none. And not one witness provided any information under oath. And not one House member ever heard anybody who had any information first. They willfully took that vote. And you know why they did? Because the Speaker wanted them to take that vote. And there's many votes down there taken down there to please the speaker. And sometimes the rep will go back and change their vote after that so they can come back and tell you they voted the opposite way. Take a look at the record and see what you find there, how many times the record was changed down there. But I can tell you, this is an important, you always hear, most important election ever. Well, you know what? Right now it is. It really is. Because we have been about as bad as you want us to be in the legislature this last session down there. The things that didn't get accomplished, I feel embarrassed for about it. Because you send us down there, now you don't pay us anything, but that's okay. But you send us down there to do what we said we're going to do. And everyone has run as a conservative. Fiscally responsible, blah, blah, the whole list. You know what it is. And you go down there and you look at their real voting record. The voting record before they change it. See, the House can change their vote after it's done so what, but it can't change the outcome. But it's what Rep will do so that they can please the Speaker to make sure his bill got passed or he wanted it passed, or he didn't pass, one way or the other. And then when it's there, many of them will go back and change their vote so they come back and tell, well, you know, I voted for it or I voted against it, but it, you know, still passed. It's a little trick they play. You're not going to have to worry about that with Shelley, because Shelley knows our Lord Jesus Christ, and he does not tolerate that kind of behavior. And she will hear about it from him if she does. So all I can say is,